It's Monday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hello, Tope Makodige.
The way you called out your name today, you called it out really nicely. I'm grateful to God. I want to sleep. I want to rest. I said I was going to rest this weekend, but I was finishing off one particular series, old Mentalist series. Mentalist.
Oh, the Mentalist.
Yeah.
That's kids.
I think
I've watched it before, but like I now watched it again. And it's so, but I finished and I'm off series for the next foreseeable future. I was battling stuffy nose and stuff, so I'm drinking vitamin C today. But I got really good news on Saturday during my site inspection. A particular client came from Abuja and visited 4 of our estates, and he had he knows I talk about real estate, but he did not see what we have done.
Yeah.
So having to see the feedback, I got voice notes, I saw videos. I was just so humbled and grateful, because I was like, I'm going to take 2 plots here. When I go to the place, I said, I will take 2 plots here too. You mean this is Stockman's estate? I did not know. As in, it was, some people think it and they don't say it.
Yeah.
And it made me remember when a client visited a location in Abuja and said, Stockman cannot own this.
Wow.
It was in the first few months of doing real estate. And I said, I did not say I own it. I said I was selling for someone. Say, hey, she cannot own this.
Whoa.
But here we are.
Here you are today.
And when the person said, I just said, God, from your
From the mouth to
from the
God's
mouth to
ears.
your
Nice.
ears.
This
And
life.
Fantastic.
seeing that other video, I'm just
You have another book to write.
Fantastic. Lovely. We love this kind of
Yes.
news.
Yes.
Hello, Mariam.
Hi.
I don't know, you look a bit different today. Is it me?
I do.
Yeah, you look very zigzag and very...
Oh, very demure.
I think it's the red.
Very demure.
You're very mindful.
Very mindful.
It's the red.
Maybe, I don't know, but I'm in a good place. As
Yes,
you know,
you
I've been
are.
on my 75-day challenge, and we're being consistent, we're doing it. And as I said, it's not about weight loss for me, it's just about my lifestyle in general. Waking up on time, reading my books, studying, creating time for family. So one of the 2 things we've created for my family is that Sunday lunch is always at the table.
Yeah.
Wherever you are, Sunday lunch happens
Yeah.
in the house at the table, and my children love it. They are the
Opponents.
proponents of it. Before you know it, it's time. They're setting the table and everything, and I realize how much they love it. And then we're doing game nights once a month at the end of the last Sunday of every month.
Okay.
And the reason why, you remember when you said you got games for your kids, but they don't, and I was like, we need to be involved as well. So we're making a family thing. So these steps I'm taking,
I love it. I wake up every day. My husband is trying to get me to exercise, and I've not been answering him. So recently, he usually doesn't say anything. I said, I see Tope every morning. You cannot wake up. You see your mates. And I'm like, Tope is not my mates.
Yeah, I'm younger. I'm younger.
So I have successfully woken up at 5
Okay.
every day, and that's it. I just sit.
Okay.
So I'll do that for a while until my mind says, wear your gym clothes and go out. But for now, just wake up 5, pray, just try to do a few things. Just let my mind get used to waking up at 5.
there's a book I'm reading, Atomic Habits. It's talk about that.
Yeah, I've read that
That's
book.
small,
Yeah,
and
build on
yeah.
it.
Don't
So
worry.
I've started the 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
So hopefully I'll go and join Tokwe very soon.
Yeah.
Maybe in the near future. Hello, Obia Julu. My first time seeing you on the
yes,
show
so
since forever.
I'm telling
She went to
you,
Germany, she went to London, she went to Stanford. She's been going around the
I
world.
haven't seen YK, I haven't seen Nima in a
Yeah,
long
because you've been going around the world.
Yeah.
How have you been? How have you been?
Yeah, I've been amazing.
Global importer, exporter.
Pure water, please add it. So I've been trying to get back into good habits. By the time you travel, everything just shifts. And when you come back, because when you travel, you eat a lot of sugar. You're not going to be there selecting food, But then I'm beginning to go back into my normal routine. And I'm also trying to see how I can extend that routine to the kids. Because of the course that we're doing the course together. There are some things we have to work together. And there's also a book that will be coming to accompany parents who are going to be registering their kids for the course. Like what Miriam is saying now, you're going to be working hand in hand to see how you can, bond, uplift, understand your children. And then my kids have been quarreling. My son, especially, he doesn't want to come back home from boarding. Again, he wants to be staying
Full time.
Full time. And the father said, Lai, I want to see you every week. It was a battle yesterday. I said, leave him now. I can beg him to come once in 2 weeks. The father said, I want to see him every week. I want to know my children. That weekday is just because of the traffic, but I want to see him every. I said, don't worry, I'll talk to daddy later. I can help you.
So it's because of activities.
Yes, he's now very active in the football team, and he wants to be able to stay with his. Let's do this. You allow him. My husband is just this children kind of somebody.
For visiting.
I'm doing well. I mean, for me, I thought it was a big deal, but I now realize it was a big deal. I joined the police supernumerary unit. I'm working, so I'm actually now. Usually, people just try to do their best, but I'm giving it 100%. I mean, I'm just trying to be there. I'm in class. I'm doing the drills. I'm matching. I'm communicating with everybody, and it's just quite interesting. You get into the minds of Nigerians because sometimes we're in a bubble. We think we get it. When you speak to certain people in certain groups, you realize that there are different issues.
Different Nigerians.
Different Nigerians.
You, at every point.
Different Nigerians. And it's good it was an opening eye for me. It was an eye opener for me. And I'm really excited about it. So I'm tired.
I know.
That's why I couldn't wake up at 5 o'clock, but I'm tired.
You're doing a lot at the same time.
Yeah, it's a lot. But I work best under pressure. When I have like 10 things doing, that's how I'm more effective.
So you're not the ones that lied on your CV. I work best under pressure. The ones that told the truth.
All right, let's go on a break. It's Monday. Everybody's talking about the elections in Edo, but first, let's go to the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're going to start with The Nation. Okpebholo's hard-won victory returns Edo State to APC fold. Federal lawmakers return to firm up council autonomy process. DJ Cuppy makes history as first British Nigerian to host Onga's opening session. NDLA intercepts 16.1 billion naira worth of drugs in Lagos and detain August 1st protesters freed. Okay.
I could do the federal lawmakers returning to firm. So senators and House of Representatives members are returning from a 6 weeks recess tomorrow, which will take immediate steps, and they said they will take immediate steps to give effect to the Supreme Court judgment on autonomy for local governments. They said this weekend, and they said although some governors are fuming over the Supreme Court verdict, the lawmakers are determined to make the autonomy work. So apart from that, they are also going to be looking at the other aspects of the states, local government accounts, efforts are also in top gear to pass the bill, creating an independent electoral body to organize elections at the grassroots level. There are other issues they are also going to be looking at when they resume. They said the implementation of the 70,000 naira minimum wage is on the top burner, and the accelerated passage of 2025 appropriation bill that would be transmitted to the president, that's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, next month. They are also going to devote their time to look at the flooding and the devastation in many parts of the country, especially in Maiduguri and northern states. And oversight on states where the weather agencies have also predicted will be witnessing flooding the next time. They are also going to be monitoring their preparation by the affected states. So the Senate last week donated 54 million to assist victims of flooding in Borno State. Individual senators also donated various sums of money running into millions for the Borno State government. And according to the Senate spokesman, Adeyemi, he said the Senate will, on resumption through legislation and oversight processes, see to the welfare of Nigerians and handle some of these issues that have gathered. But that their 6 weeks break is too much now. It's too long now.
Anyways, let me take the major headlines. So Senator Monday Okpebholo's victory on Saturday has brought back that state into the APC fold. According to The Nation, Okpebholo won across the 3 senatorial districts, clinching 11 local governments out of 18. PDP won the rest. Unfortunately, LP was unable to win any of the local governments. According to the reports also, the APC won by over 291,000 votes, while PDP got over 247 votes. And then the total difference was about 44,393, making it a closely fought election. Significantly, the APC defeated Obaseki in his home Morayo local government, scoring 30,780 votes to PDP's 24,000. So, and unfortunately, even I mean, I was really looking forward to LP having a good outing. Unfortunately, they had about 22,000 votes.
Yeah,
so,
that was really
I was really hoping that it would become a real third force. But congratulations to the winners, and we hope for the best in the state.
Yeah, I have DJ Copy, daughter of Nigeria's businessman Femi Otedola. They said she made history at Onga, and she was described as the first British Nigeria ever to host. You see, if it was Oyinbo people writing this, they would just say British. Nigeria will put British Nigerian. You have just said Nigerian. First Nigerian to ever host an opening session at Onga. And they said it was quite a success. They said she was easy, she was funny. You know, she talks about her passion, which is quality education for everyone, and that her foundation is working on that, and that she bantered with Amina Mohammed, and they were talking about how she, first said that, you know, she's going to be the first Nigerian president, and Amina Mohammed was like, oh, after me. Oh, wow. So people were like, you know, that it created a buzz in the audience. People were like, it says a lot about leadership amongst women in Nigeria, so yeah.
Fantastic.
Beautiful. I'm really proud of.
Congratulations to her.
Yes, I have the story inside the paper about Luth, and it's a good news that Luth, that's the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, is partnering with the Sickle Cell Foundation of Nigeria to start high-quality, safe bone marrow transplants. Last year, I know, 2 years ago, I met a couple in the US that they relocated based on the cost of raising a sickle cell. They had two sickle cell children in Nigeria, and they just had to, when they traveled, they just stayed there, and they were able to get the bone marrow transplant without paying a fee because of the foundation that exists over there. So now the Chief Medical Director, Professor Wasiu Adeyemo, and the National Director for Sickle Cell Foundation Nigeria, Dr. Anete Akisete, said that this is for the past 20 years, they've been doing bone marrow transplants all across the world. It's gotten safer. It guarantees the highest quality of life for sickle cell. It provides 100% cure, unlike any other palliative treatment they have. And he said Nigeria has a very huge burden of sickle cell disease worldwide as compared to every other country. That Nigeria has a lot of people that are suffering from complications from early childhood to early serious damage to their organs and reduced life expectancy. So this is good news for any family who is battling with children that have sickle cell, that they can get help in Nigeria.
Fantastic news. The Punch, Edo poll, we talked about that. 1 year after Tinubu yet to appoint ambassadors for 109 embassies. 80-year-old man arrested with cannabis in Lagos. Picture here of Congress approves 3.6 billion naira for Lagos FA 2024. Oyo mob beats soldier over alleged killing of NSCDC. DSS frees 6 hunger protesters to arraign 3. And fresh tariff hike looms as monthly power subsidy hits 181 billion naira. Okay.
The human interest story there. So a soldier identified as Abubakar has allegedly killed a Nigerian Civil and Security Defense Corps officer, Olakbade Shegun. They said Abubakar and Shegun were said to have met at a nightclub in the Bodija area of Oyo State on Friday, and they had a heated altercation which ensued between them. Before they realized it, Abubakar had to bring out his dagger. Abubakar is a soldier now. Brought out his dagger and just daggered the other guy who lost a lot of blood, and before they realized it, he had died. But just before he could escape from the scene, the mob were really upset. They surrounded him, beat him to a pulp before some of his colleagues now came and, rescued him. So now they are saying that the army has set up a panel to investigate the matter because some of the officers, have been visiting, concerning the incident. So hopefully we'll see how that works. But I used to think that the soldiers had more discipline to rein in their anger. Yeah. That's part of their training. So how does it get to a point where you are bringing out dagger? Exactly. What are you doing with a dagger instead?
In the first place. Let's go on a short break now. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch.
Yes, so an 80-year-old grandfather, Pa Aremu, Shojobi has been arrested by NDLEA. Did you take the story?
Yes, I.
Came out
Okay, go ahead.
He was arrested by NDLEA with 14 kilograms of cannabis, and he confessed to having been selling these drugs for the last 25 years. As in, that is his day job. He wakes up in the morning, he says he starts selling from 8 a.m. till 10 p.m. every day for 25 years. He said that he gets his supplies from Benin Republic and then he sells to his customers, you know, every day. They said a total of 25 million pills of. So I'm a bit in a dilemma here. There's a new drug. To me, it's new. I don't want to say it out. Do you understand the name of the drug? Yes, publicize it. But also, they said this particular drug is 3 times stronger than the one we already know, tramadol.
Hey.
And they found that. They found another over 350,000 bottles of codeine-based syrup, you know, and they also talked about a container that they had inspected. This was based off of intelligence, of course, and they found billions worth of drugs, you know, in that container. They said that they did the search with NDLEA and customs, and they found all these, you know, things. This happened on the 17th and the 20th. So this led to raiding 2 homes, you know, in the community because of this. So NDLEA is doing a good job. Thank God for intelligence and, you know, just praying for our country.
Yeah.
I have the story on tariff hike. It's not such a good news, but the tariff hike is looming, might be coming up in October. There is a October multi-year tariff order unless there is a drop in the cost of generating power. The Punch reports gathered that the federal government had to pay 181 billion in September from 102 billion in May. So the subsidy being paid over electricity generated has increased significantly, and the Nigerian Electronic Regulatory Commission announced that they will be, when they removed subsidy, the price of course jumped up, but now they might be raising it to 225 naira per kilowatt per hour, which is going to be going from 209 kilowatt per hour. However, if the cost of generating drops, the price will drop, because there was a slash in May when the cost of generating dropped. They slashed it to 206 kilowatts per hour. And then they realized that it went up again in July, so they increased it to 209. But now, based on the cost of subsidy, they're likely going to be increasing the price for Band A. What did we do to you people? To 225 naira per kilowatt per hour. So, yeah. But they are this is obviously transparent because the cost of power generation has gone up. Naira-dollar issue is still happening to us. And as long as it keeps going up, the government needs to protect themselves from paying subsidy over electricity. And so Band A would have to pay cost-reflective tariff.
No, will not protect us.
Okay, so the former
just move on.
Senate President Adolphus Wabara had alleged that his attempt to secure jobs for people in his ward were thwarted because he was unable to drop. That's to the Federal Character Commission, saying that they refused to allow him slots to get jobs for his constituents because he didn't drop money. He said that you won't believe, according to him specifically, he said you won't believe that up until now nothing has been done. But the Director of the Public Affairs and Communications, Dr. Chuks Okoli of the FCC, emphasized that Wabara was informed during his visit that the commission was not functioning as a recruitment agency, so there was no way they could provide jobs for his constituents. The request falls outside their mandate. But he insisted it was because he couldn't drop. So they said, if you're insisting on that, give us the names of people who they demanded you to pay money to get those slots. But this was just in response to his claims. Moving on quickly now to Vanguard. Edoha Okpebholo floored Ighodalo with 44,000 votes. Okpebholo to federal government allow Dangote sell petrol at lower rate. Allow, you understand. Lekki, Lagos State government and Dangote refinery disagree over parks and call-up systems for trucks. Vata Joshua hints at Dubois rematch. Marketers optimistic of lifting Dangote's petrol elect directly as scarcity persists. FG frees 6 of 1,400 #bad governance protesters, and Tinubu orders crackdown on cyber criminals, transnational car thieves. You guys watch that boxing bout
No, I didn't. I heard he was.
The punches were so painful.
Yeah.
As well as
Did you feel it?
As I was punching, I was feeling that.
You were watching.
I was like, oh my goodness, hey,
our
my body
boy,
was shaking.
Just the pictures for me. If I was his mom, I would stop the fight.
Yeah.
Honestly, exactly. I was like, oh, with this stupid referee. The referee kept telling them to go ahead. I'm like, are you okay?
I know what you like. This is what do you expect in
Don't
boxing?
really bad. If I was his mother, I'll be crying.
Yes.
Like, please, just hit my son.
Yes,
please.
But that's the profession he chose now. You go.
I will enter the ring.
Okay, let's take another story. I beg.
Yes, so marketers are expressing optimism that they will soon be able to lift premium motor spirits, known as petrol, directly from Dangote refinery, as the scarcity of the product is persisting across the country. So they're checking around Abuja yesterday, and they showed that most of the retail outlets were still without the products 3 months after the current shortages started. Now, speaking to Vanguard, the Public Relations Officer, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association, Nigeria, IPMAN, Chief Chinedu Kadike, said that marketers were optimistic of reaching an agreement that will allow them get supply directly from Dangote's refinery. He said that they had a meeting. A meeting has been scheduled for this week between the independent marketers and the officials of the refinery. He said there is a meeting for this week between Dangote and IPMAN, and we're happy that Dangote has set on a new course in terms of looking to other stakeholders to distribute its products. So right now, Dangote is distributing to the major marketers, and they are hopeful that by the time they are done with that, they will now start distributing to independent marketers. Now, for the refinery to also start distributing through the coastal areas with vessels, they said that one is a good move. This will remove the ghost scarcity that they have now that is persisting for, quite a long time. So he said that the only thing now is that pricing remains a big issue in the distribution of the petrol, because if the independent marketers leave the petrol at a price that would not allow them to be competitive, it will become an issue. So right now they said they are lifting at 766 naira per litre, which is what Dangote is supplying to the major marketers, and is really not a good price now. But we're hoping that with market forces, demand and supply, when everybody has access to the products, the prices will finally come down so that the consumers will be able to have affordable fuel.
Our president has directed security and law enforcement agencies, including EFCC, the Nigerian Customs Service, and the Nigerian Police Force, and also Nigerian Ports Authority, to intensify efforts in cracking down on individuals in possession of and trafficking in stolen vehicles. So a statement on Sunday by the special advisor to the president said that the president says that the most effective tools available to law enforcement agencies is depriving criminals of the proceeds of their illicit activities. Good. He acknowledged the recent handover of 53 vehicles, $180,300 by EFCC to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police on behalf of 2 Canadian citizens who were victims of cyber crimes that were perpetrated by Nigerian nationals. The president, just in summary, commended them and said that it's important that collaboration with partners continues, because this is what will bring about, the clampdown on this transnational car thieves and cyber criminals, and the president remains committed, to tackling money laundering, cybercrime, and other financial crimes.
So, good news for six out of the 1,400 protesters that protested against hunger. The reports came out that the federal government has met the demand of some of the people clamoring, and they freed 6 of the 1,400. And the DSS said that 3 of the protesters will be arraigned. The charges they'll be facing, however, is very strong. They will be facing charges on terrorism. Some of the lawyers that have been speaking up and trying to represent the protesters have said that, are there any evidence that the charge of terrorism or terrorism financing is so serious that the government should provide evidence that they took up arms against the state, that in the absence of such evidence to back up the terrorism, then they should be released unconditionally and everything should be based on hard facts. But the DSS on their part are also saying that they are reiterating that the citizens have rights to protest, but the things that took place, that they went beyond the protest. I know that everybody deserves to be seen as innocent until they've proven guilty. And everybody deserves to have a lawyer to represent them. So I'm happy that some people have taken up the responsibility of ensuring that they speak up for the protesters that are being held. However, many people have lost properties and some lost their lives in the course of this protest. So every evidence that the DSS has should be tabled so that justice can be served.
So in relation to Dangote refineries, so the Lagos State government have gone there to inspect the parks for the trucks. And speaking, Mr. Shola Giwa, who is a special advisor to the governor, was really concerned. But after inspection, the parks for the trucks are yet to be totally completed or even for operations. Because according to them, they're supposed to have 10 parks with 2,000 capacity each. Unfortunately, right now, what they're seeing is about 300 capacity, and they expect about 2,700 trucks per day. So it's one thing to be talking about pricing of refineries, and another thing to ensure that what happened in Apapa does not repeat itself in Lekki, because those trucks are very dangerous, and the people that live in that people live in that locality, and we can't have trucks coming through their towns and having accidents. Because according to the reports, also there's been many reports of trucks running into various people or killing passengers. So it's important that the e-call option works almost perfectly before they begin to go and off-take petrol from Dangote refinery. So they're really concerned that you need to get those parks ready before commencement, because we'll not allow you to start getting on the road
100%.
and putting people in danger. I think that's all we can take on Front Page Review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So on this segment, we will be looking at the outcome of the Edo State governorship election, the outcome of the polls, the winner and the losers. We will also delve into the conduct of the exercise, into the conduct of the total exercise from the umpire, INEC, to the political parties, the security, electorate, and the people of the state. We would like to hear from Nigerians in Edo State to call in, talk about their assessment of the polls in general. There have been different viewpoints on social media as regards the polls. We'd like to hear from Nigerians directly. You can call us on the numbers on your screen, 081 764 1679, 090 241 63440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Many of us followed the elections over the weekend, and one of the things I was looking out for was IREV not messing up again. I don't think I got any of those reports because after the polls were done, it was uploaded immediately, and we could see the results. So you could verify the results at every single polling unit. So it's easy for all the various politicians to know. But what are your thoughts on the numbers? Do you feel that, especially it was a main three-man horse race, and the other parties were there? We must acknowledge there were 17 parties in all. But it was the three main contenders that many of us looked out for. As I said, I was mostly disappointed in LP because I really was hoping for a third force. Remember, we're trying really hard to push LP out there as a party just to, to break the status quo of APC and PDP. And it was important for us to see a good outing at this. But what are your own general thoughts on the elections? Who'd like to go first?
The election, well,
actually, your husband is from that side, so it's your election. In fact, I would have loved for Nima to be on this side because this is her state and she's really interested in that election, but it's all good.
So, I right from when the candidate for PDP, Aswe, came out, I had said on TV, and I've said it several times, that I was totally for Aswe. I'm not a party person. I am not exactly a fan of the current governor, and I did not hide that either. So it was just about the CV and the person of Aswe that I supported, and I still support. So yes, it was a very heartbreaking result for me.
Wow.
And I had high expectations that having someone of Aswe Ighodalo's caliber as a governor of that state is a totally different ball game. But Nigerians have, the Edo people have spoken according to the INEC results so far. Some online have said they will go to court. Some said the election was bought. They said it was manipulated. You will hear all sorts of stories when the result does not go your way. I've learned not to fancy to what people are saying online and stick to the facts as I have gotten, because I feel like our words are so powerful. What we write is so powerful, and one word said without facts can destroy lives and can lead to loss of lives. So for me, the Edo State election was peaceful in that there was no violence. If any of the contestants feel they are not okay with the results, they have to go through the legal process to resolve it. I personally feel very, 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 very unhappy with the results. I wished that the people had not been swayed, because what we saw was that people were saying they were swayed by the politics, that the Okpebholo is a more grassroots person, it was more engaged with the people, and so people don't want to hear your English or what you know, they want to know how well you know them, kind of. So based on that perspective, however, I saw something online. I did not know how it popped up for me, but there was a particular picture of a particular polling unit, Esako East polling unit, and that picture went viral. It was a picture that showed this is the number of people that signed all day. I would retweet it so you can check. Esako East local government, Osholo Primary School. It was a polling unit that had 493 registered voters, but accredited voters were 213. And the total number of votes was 406, which meant that more voters were recorded than the number of accredited people. Now, these are the things that, if factual, can be taken to court, but putting it online and then everybody's now talking about it does not change the final results. So, yeah.
But we'll have to verify this, because some people can post anything.
Yeah.
So it's very important for us not to just assume that everything we see online is
factual.
It's factual.
Okay, so I guess based on face level, we would say APC won and PDP came a close second, and LP. You know, earlier when we were reading the news, you were saying you expected more from LP, and I think that they're doing well, actually. You know, for me as a new party, I feel that even though there's a big gap between the two very well-known major parties, it shows that the LP is really gaining ground, and who knows where this will come in the next 4 years. So for me, I hope that the young people see that, you know, that their voices are being heard and that their votes count as well. The reason why I'm saying this is because leading to the election, I had seen, you know, videos, a lot of young people talking and saying that they're going to cast their vote, especially for LP, because, you know, they wanted something different. And I hope that the youth are happy, you know, at least with what they have done so far. And for the two major parties, I've always known it was 50-50. It was either going to be PDP or APC. And as you know, at the end of every election, there will definitely be some people who don't think it was a fair election. But as, you know, Tokwe said, there's the courts, please, let's use that. I'm happy that there were no outbreak of violence, you know, no casualties of that sort. And please, let's keep it like that, leading up to whatever, either inauguration or court cases.
Let me come to your initial thoughts.
So first of all, the election was very peaceful. Just a few polling areas had a few miscreants trying to, you know, snatch ballot boxes, but the security officials that were there did their best to, you know, curb that, and it didn't escalate. So it was a peaceful election. INEC really showed up and showed out. They were prepared, according to some of the election observers who were in Edo State to witness what was happening. So INEC was prepared, they had their materials ready, you know, and everything was just on point. But there were some polling units, I don't have the exact names now, where it seemed like they were not able to, you know, collate the results there. They had to move it to the state, which was against the constitution of INEC. But that is also debatable as well. If anybody is looking to go to court, that's some of the things that they're going to be presentable. Overall, the election was okay. Now, it opened my eyes to the fact that some political parties have understood the art of playing serious politics. You know, you cannot win when you do not go by the rules of the land of the people that you want to rule. While, you know, it seemed like people just felt that, okay, because we have this, we are qualified and this and that, we can do this in our own way. But it showed that there were some political parties, especially for APC, that was on the ground. They like, when I spoke to some persons from Edo State, they said APC was present. They did the waka with their two legs. They moved for that election. And it was very, funny that they only had, from the 3 senatorial districts, they won just 1, which is the North. And they were able to, by the time they collated the total number, they were able to win somebody who had, cashed in on the South and the Central Senatorial District. Normally, the last winner, that's Obaseki, at the time that he did his own, he won the South and the Central, which gave him, that number. But now, for a winner to win just the North, he did not even conquer South, he did not even conquer Central, and then by the time they collated the number, that showed that they really put in the work. How the work went, though, we don't know, but work was put in, and that's politics. And but some persons complained that there was actually low turnout of people who came to vote. We're saying that we need to begin to change the narrative. If you want something, you have to come out and get it. It's not enough to sit on the sidelines and you talk about, we want a change, we want this person. Did you come out? Did you vote? Were you present? Because the turnout was really, really low compared to the people who registered that they were going to vote. So
looking at, because I'd like to open our phone lines now, 081-0764-1679, 09024163440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. This is a show where Nigerians can express their views on the trending issues. So a few factors, quite a number of factors have been highlighted as the reasons why the elections went the way they are. I'd like other people to also share in their views. Number one, the issue that happened between the Oba of Benin and the state government, because I was reading here where the Oba of Benin had asked the federal government to temporarily take custody of the 1,130 stolen Benin artifacts that was returned from, I think, US and Europe because there were issues of where these artifacts should reside. The Oba of Benin obviously wanted it to reside at the palace, while the state government had, wanted it to be housed at the Edo Museum of Arts of West African Arts. So there were gridlock on that for a while. And then the Oba had asked the federal government, just hold on to this until we resolve it in-house. That people have said that the fact that you can even challenge the Oba in itself is very daring of the state government. That's one factor. The second factor others are talking about is the politics versus the technocrats.
Yeah.
Because we talk about grassroots politics. We always say politics is local. And a lot of Nigerians, and I always say, we are in a bubble. A lot of us, we feel like, because that's where many will say, I would like an Asue because he's educated, he was a chairman of a bank, this is somebody that has positive links internationally to bring foreign investment.
Have ideas.
Somebody who has great ideas, who's working with different people, educated. He has the Obaseki feel. Others will say, it's not about that. It's who knows us, who can say, I was there when you were born, I was the father of the something, that has that grassroots influence. So the question is, where is Nigeria headed? Where is Nigeria headed? Are we headed for the technocratic democracy, or we're continually headed for the political democracy? That's just my own coin, the word in my head. But these are the things I'd like you to think about as we're having the conversation. What could have led to where the results we've seen? Let me take a call while you think about that. Good morning. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Hello.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good morning. I'm calling from Edo.
You're very welcome. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I don't think Nigeria is just that.
You don't think?
You know how you tell me that APC won that election? It's just so impossible. I'm just tired of this country. I think I'm tired. There's nothing that you vote for the right person and they give it to another person. It's just all sham. I came out for the election and I found out they are giving me the money. If you are not APC, they talk, harass you, and they pursue you. I'm just tired, man.
Yeah.
The more you talk, the more you put your life in danger. Yeah.
So, wait, can I stay on with you? Hello, sir, are you there? Hello? I think we lost him.
Yeah, let me add something. So there were allegations, and I'm using my words carefully, allegations of vote buying. A lot of people said money was changing hands. And this was happening in front of the security agencies, right? They expected that the security agencies would do better. The EFCC stood up and were able to disperse some persons that were, doing that and promised to prosecute them. But they said a lot of people were collecting money to be able to vote. And this was not just one political party. It was the two political parties. Yeah. So it seemed like now who can't pay pass, now he gets the opportunity. So if we start politics with eliminating the money influence, and like I like how Miriam started with LP, saying that LP had done what they were supposed to do, being that it's a new political party and all of that. With LP, you see that you don't hear things that they are spending money. They are thinking, if we present somebody and we believe this person should be able to go there and prove that if you get this mantle of leadership, you'll be able to lead. So if we take out, because the question you asked, where we are going to, we are going back. Because everything is the same way we do it. We always have a way of finding.
So who defines? Needs. Okay, so who defines what is back or forward? Because as an educated Nigerian, in your mind we're going backwards.
Yes.
But as a Nigerian who is listen, this is all I know. That is our reality. Let us face the reality. So who defines what is backward and what is forward? Let me go on a short break.
Okay.
When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing our perspective of the Edo elections. I would like to let Nigerians call in to share their own views also. 081-0764-679, 090-241-63440 are the numbers to call. You can also send us your messages on X at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTV. See so we can read your tweet. Ladies, let me come to you on what we said so far. I mean, still you're saying that
we're going backwards.
We're going backwards. I'm thinking, who defines what is backwards?
Okay, so for me, I feel that I've always been an idealist. I loved politics. Nigerian politics has demoralized my... That's taken away that love, yes. I used to scream all the time, oh, I want to do politics, I have to get involved. But I have seen that it is not idealistic. It's not about you feeling... People deserve quality life. Healthcare should work. Anybody that is going to make this thing work is who they should vote for. The politicians shouldn't have to bribe citizenry. I have been told, shut up. Keep it in your pockets. In Nigeria, give us the money, give us the rice, give us the bread. Stomach infrastructure is fine. Vote buying is okay. That's who we are. Don't tell us what we deserve. Give people what they ask of. I have spoken against it. I have been corrected several times on TV and offline that it is not for me to tell people what they deserve. Give them what they want. So based on what people want, they have gotten. We have gotten here. So if the result shows consistently what people want, people don't have a right to complain when you are the majority are the ones that are picking what is on ground. And I think it was even maybe in this last election or 2 elections ago that they said until Nigeria hits rock bottom before, like hits rock bottom.
Why do we assume, Tokwe, that the grassroots politicians are not the solution to our problems?
So I don't think that the grassroots politicians have found a way to, most of them have found a way to manipulate the system, which is feed people and control the people. It's a standard thing. If you are feeding me, you tell me to do A, I will do it. So as long as people are not empowered and you can easily manipulate them, it serves the purpose of people. We that feel we are educated come across like we're cocky. We come across like we are
proud.
Like we're proud. I know what you don't know what you need. The grass politician will come and give you wheelbarrow and give you meshai and say this is empowerment, and they will not be hailing him for the empowerment. And I will be like, no, I want to give you a school. I want to give you hospital. I'm like, wait, now hospital you want chop? Give me wheelbarrow. Give me keke na pep. you have empowered me. So finding the balance is the real solution.
Okay.
How do we ensure people have what to eat and still aspire for a greater life?
I'll come to you, Mariam. Let me take Sholari's call. Good morning, Sholari, you're live. Good morning, Sholari, you're live.
Bless you. Thank you for having me.
Good morning.
What I very much think is that PDP is a party that PDP very much used to take people, PDP used to take some people for granted. Like the the deputy governor was taken for granted, and all the people he has was moved to the opposition party, the APC. So, and now my party, the PDP, is also doing the same thing at the national level. By the time they make the opposition strong, the election will come in favor of the opposition. And you know what happened during the last general presidential election?
Yeah.
The PDP was split into about 4 or 5 groups. The Mobile group took the portion, then the NNPP, and so many other functions. By the end of the day, all the votes that is supposed to go to PDP went to other parties, and that made the party to lose.
Right.
So,
thank you very much, Sholari. Go ahead.
So you were saying, to answer your very initial question, which is, grassroots or technocrats, and I'm just thinking that I think a political party plays a game of chess or plays a game. So you're coming against the incumbent. In my mind, I'm thinking that this is how they think about it. So an incumbent, what are his strengths? The Obaseki government is known to be like, technocrats. And they have these big ideas for Edo State. They want to move Edo forward, let them compete. There are some policies that they have even compared Edo State and Lagos State, it shows that this is an Edo State that is moving into the future. So for me, if I'm the opposition, I would think of what is his weakness. And what I also heard is that it seemed like Obaseki's government was far removed from the grassroots. So if I'm going to put a candidate, which candidate do I think I will put that would,
So it's calculated.
Yes. So I think that they did that, knowing that, yes, intentionally. Because if you had put another technocrat, then, yes, you'll be speaking English, and the grassroots will still feel left out. So you bring someone who is able to do the opposite, And I feel that that's what they did. And luckily for them, it worked out. Because with politics, I realized, really, there's no 100% strategy. It always seems like a good idea in hindsight. It's like, it's because we did this or we did that. But you did not know until you won or until you lost.
Let me take this call from Yomi. Is calling from Ikeja. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Yomi.
Yes, I believe politics is actually should be representative. I do not believe that. Good morning. I do not believe that I have a difference between the technocrats and the grassroots leaders. For me, politics is local, and you have to understand that leadership is also local. So in a lot of ways, don't let us look at it as a difference between the technocrat and the grassroots leader. No, a technocrat should be actively involved in politics. That's what I believe in. If you, for instance, you go to the ward meetings of the political parties, you find out that those are called the technocrats. They feel too big to join the local political system, and therefore, life does not recognize vacuum. It is who is available for the people that they know, that they will come up and say, we have known you. To a large extent, you have been a part of us. So you bring your own technocrat. Who is a technocrat? Somebody that has done well in his own field. Then bring it to the public forum and be a part of nation building. So I do not think we should divide it. I just think that we should encourage everybody. I go there, I'm a master's degree holder. When I get to those local meetings, these people, I know that academically they can't stand me, but I understand that, look.
Thank you very much. I'm having trouble listening to your hearing. I'm hoping our viewers heard you, but I didn't hear most of what you said.
I love what Mariam said. Just quickly say, based on the analysis Mariam just gave, it also supports what the Shaibu,
said earlier.
The caller mentioned that they pushed out Shaibu. The PDP tends to just the structure overlooked some key people, which splits the group. And in that, every time you have a technocrat, you're supposed to like balance it out with a very, very grassroots politician so that you have a harmony. And they didn't do that. He had Shaibu. He did not respect Shaibu. Some say it's Obaseki that happened.
You know, I was talking about the bubble we live in, because in a normal society, that's not the word I want to use. In a society that we are probably familiar with, you would think that the fact that an APC chieftain opened his mouth on national television to call somebody childless, that in itself is a game changer. Because in any other society, once you say that, in fact, they go back to calculate, this guy has messed up. Now we have to start over again because you have totally punctured our strategy. Voters will not vote for us because it was a major deal. But here,
we move
but
on.
That's not how we operate here, because normally we throw words at each other. That
was a difficult. That was heavy.
I know. Insults are a way of life in Nigeria.
Exactly.
Insults.
Maybe today.
They insult you with everything you have and you don't have. It's a way of life. So we talked about it the time it happened and everybody, but then we'll now move on to, okay, let's focus on what else now. So for me, I do not care. I know politics is very grassroots, which is advised that if you have to get into politics, you need to know how to come down to the level of the people you want to lead. You need to be at the same level so that you understand their pains. And that's what everybody's working towards, that you want to be in politics, go and participate, start from the grassroots. We understand that. But for me, it's not about being at the grassroots or being a technocrat. What matters is, are you a solution provider? Do you have plans for where you're going to? Now, the people who you are going to meet there, are they ready to allow you to do the work? The problem we have is not just about the leaders. It's about the people too that are being led. Sometimes the systems are so strong and set in their ways that if you like speak all the English, when you come here, we will frustrate your plans. You are grassroots, you have all the ideas, we're going to help these people, we're going to do this for these people, we're going to do this for this community. When will you come? Brother, if you don't drop money, we are not moving. So at the end of the day, Nigerians are the problems of Nigerians. It's not necessarily about the person who is sitting on the #1 seat. It's about the other people, numerous people who are working either with him or against him to frustrate the plans because of their own specific benefits. So if we can begin to change our mindsets to understand that this governance thing we're talking about, it's going to pay all of us. Even if I don't benefit right now from the money or the bribes or everything I want to get, what about my children? What about my children's children? What about my neighbor's children who, at the end of the day, this policy will step in and save them from something in the near future? Then we can now see a progress. We'll now see progress in the way that if we now choose a good person who is willing to work, we will see the impact of the work. Because even with the past administration, okay, take your...
I have a caller. Suleiman's been holding for a minute. Good morning, Suleiman, you're live.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Am I speaking to your view?
Yes, you are, and you're live.
Yes. Now listen to me, beautiful ladies of your view.
Okay.
Obaseki is my man, and I was personally prepared from Abuja to go home, and I did so for him in 2020 when he came, when there was this crisis between him and Oshomole. Moved my family, moved my community, because he touched our life, he gave us room. But when Obaseki came as a leader, as a governor, and he knows what, I don't know whether he knows, he made a statement that made him to fail. Even me, I couldn't go home again because I was afraid of that statement. During the election, people died in Nigeria and nobody cared about what happened to them. He came out and said the election is a do or die affair. That failed him. He should go back and look at himself in that their PDP final political rally, where he made that statement that this election is a do or die affair. Even, look, let me tell you, beautiful lady, even those who are supporters like me, fear could have entered their mind. Those who have the mind to come out and vote, they'll be afraid of their life. Anything can happen and they will just die. Those people who have died during such elections, nobody cares about them. So that is one of the reasons that was responsible for the low turnout. Nobody wants to die. But those who have said whether I die or not, look, me that is talking to you here now. My children even were saying that I'm a grandfather I'm 71.
Wow.
All the elections that have been held in Nigeria, all the campaigns that have been held in Nigeria, I've never heard where any contestant come out and say this election is do or die. Obaseki said so.
All right.
to the whole
Thank you very much,
treasure of
Suleiman.
Nigeria. And so that.
Thank you very much. You're going to say something.
Say something. You know what I find interesting?
Oh, let me go on a break. I want you to, can you hold that thought? When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing the Edo elections. I was also reminded, oh, you're going to say something.
Yes, I was going to say something. It was based on what the caller said about the statement Obaseki said about do or die. And for me, it's a good example of when you're far away from the people. Because I watched the interview where he was asked why he said that. And he said what he meant is that if they do, that if the opposition does win, we die. Meaning that all the good work that they have done, you know, everything will just go to waste or everything will die eventually. But that's it. You're speaking big English, big context. And what Nigerians usually understand when we say do or die during politics, during election, is that if you show up, we don't like you, you know, things will happen. You're going to die, like physically die. So it took him trying to explain. But for a lot of people, like our last caller, has taken the do or die. I said he did not even show up because he does not want to hear.
Should that have been a PR stunt
Well, yes, but the thing is, maybe when you're a bit closer to the grassroots, you understand the language. Because with politics, the language also matters. But as I said before, sometimes it works for you, sometimes it doesn't. Because we also have, like you mentioned, the Oshomole, and what he said, you would expect that to have even angered Nigerians even more. But no, for them it was just...
They moved on.
You know, you yab me, I yab you. But this do or die, even when he's trying to say it's about the policy, how far we've gone, if we let them, if they do, everything will be lost.
Another thing that I thought was interesting was when I think the governor of Adamawa State, Amadu Fintiri, had put out a press conference saying that he had accused INEC of violating the Electoral Act. According to him, he said that the agents, the PDP agents, had been denied access to collation centers, raising further questions about the transparency of the electoral process. Now, this is a governor making this statement. Now, that can be said as a fair statement. However, what is most crucial, which what Nigerians always miss out, is the fact that, okay, they didn't allow you into the collation centers, but at the end of the day, what was collated, right, electronically, does it match, yes or no? If it matches, really, then raising the issue as a governor that, oh, they didn't allow us into collation, does it carry enough weight to be said? Or do you think that we're only trying to hit up the policy for people to think as if something went wrong, there's something going on, why would they not allow us? Or do you think it was irresponsible of the government to say that? Or do you think it was necessary for him to say that just to get people to know that they're observing?
I think that we need to be careful about what we say, especially as leaders. Even when you feel and you have a few, especially when you're influential, when you have a few evidence pointing to something being wrong, you would feel the necessity to speak up and say what's on your mind, but you cannot afford to, because someone else can hear that and feel like, oh, they want to manipulate the election. Let's carry arms and go there and go and ensure that what they are doing there works. You don't want anything to be misconstrued. You have that data. If it is a fact, then put it in your arsenal. By the time you go to court, you bring out everything necessary to fight for yourself. What I wanted to even bring up as my own worry about how expensive Nigerian election is and how we make it so complicated. Yeah. APC came with 10 governors. 10 governors left their states, plus the Senate presidents with their entourage. Boss from, as in, just for a state, one state is doing election. The people of the states now wake up past the people of the states, and they came with the intention of, we want to show you. PDP showed up, APC showed up, but it was just so much. And we just let people of the states do their work.
Does it remind you of the Ekiti State election during Jonathan's regime?
It was.
You don't remember the story?
I remember
the bombardment in that state. So, but I was going to say that, you know, Kano State showed us in the just concluded elections how the people can make sure that their votes count. We saw the multitude of people that followed, from casting vote to collating to counting, followed it to, to the end, which was to ensure that the votes that were cast were the ones counted and those who won, won fairly. Yeah. So sometimes, when we point fingers, do we also ask ourselves what we did? Like, what part did we play in ensuring that our votes count? How far do we go? Because really, this is our future, and our vote is not just a piece of paper we'll just, throw in a box and move away. We need to defend it until the very end. So sometimes I just want Nigerians to think about it. If it can be done in Kano State, it can be done anywhere else, so that conversations of, we're locked out or we're not sure where the story is coming from. Everybody has like a scenario.
Scared to try anything.
Let me take Ali. We have a guest. We're waiting for our guest to connect so that we can get... hello. I think Ali, thanks for calling. You're live.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that I congratulate the governor. I congratulate the governor, but if you carry everybody along, you understand? I should carry everybody along. I congratulate you, but if you carry all the people along, everybody is a winner, so that they can do the those things. Because in this context, there's no loser. Everybody is a winner. Yeah. So I want.
Yeah, I mean, if you go by the president's congratulatory message, he said, "Don't gloat." Yes, we are happy that APC won, but he has asked everybody not to gloat because he knows politicians. It's time for us to work. It's time to bring people together, just like you said, carry everybody along, let them feel that we're part and parcel of the governance of the state. So it's important for the winners in this situation not to take advantage and gloat about their success.
They've worked very hard for this success, so you cannot tell me not to gloat or to celebrate the way I want to celebrate because I worked really hard. I took out incumbents. You not say I should not celebrate.
The work you did is not money.
So one of the things I want to appeal, I want to beg. This one, if I'm just not a overdramatic person, I say I should kneel down and beg that if APC that is in power now has a huge responsibility. Don't take it personal. Don't take the project that has been done by the last administration and choose not to continue with it. Can you be magnanimous enough to continue with the good works? Even though I know over the next 4 years, there will be plenty of investigation into all the projects that he did to find out how much money was spent and weed out the corruption and recover money. I agree with you, investigating, but continue the good work.
They tease him that he's an MOU governor.
Yes.
I don't know what that means, that he's always signing MOUs.
Obaseki. Because it's not normal.
So it doesn't reflect?
How doesn't that reflect?
If you send MOU with international...
for the betterment of the...
yes, now, is our president not looking for FDI across and signing contracts across
They shouldn't reverse all the MOUs too, because, they can do that and Edo State will enter litigation. Because once you've signed, they can take you to court to say, you cancelling the signed MOU means that you will pay all the penalties. So I need to beg. I'm begging APC.
That's why we said you should not gloat. So that's part of not gloating.
Okay. Don't go and gloat.
So maybe just priding in yourself, but don't...
It's important that our viewers call in. Hopefully, we're still waiting for our special guest. Once he's connected, then we'll try to bring him on. But in the meantime, let's take more calls. Abubakar from Iju Shaga, you're live. Thanks for calling.
Thank you very much for speaking, giving me this opportunity.
Yes.
I think I would have been very, very shocked if those people did not massively defeat the PDP in the just recently concluded election. I am saying this because we have a lot of reasons. I'm an Edo man. I have a lot of reasons why we say Obaseki shouldn't be there. Actually, when Comrade Obaseki was the governor, I remember that a PDP person said that Edo State has become one very, very big construction site. And that is true. If you go to Edo, you see a lot of things going on. When man came, he seemed to have put Edo State on a reverse gear. Edo State has suffered a lot of stagnation. Nothing was going on. You enter Benin City, the capital, it has become one abandoned place. So I am very, very happy that these people work assiduously to remove him. Now, when people talk about buying election, like the first caller made, I'm shocked. I know that all parties pay for election. It's a question of who pays pass. They all pay. Then if they don't give you directly at the polling center, they ensure that They meet you very early in the morning and give you money. I'm speaking, I'm a journalist. I was in Benin, I just came back today. And I knew what happened there. So for anybody to say that these people are tired of this, let them get tired of this country, they are tired.
What happened to LP? In your own view, what happened to LP?
What?
To LP, the Labour Party, did they have money to spend?
No, it's not a question of money. See, what actually happened to LP was this. I tell you, Edo State was majorly, was steady towards the Labour Party. But we Edos have agreed that the governor should come from, Edo Central. Incidentally, Labour Party went and picked somebody from Edo South. So all the Asian people from, Edo Central moved to PDP, which already they would have voted against because they hated the APC. So it was just a case of you didn't put in our man, so we all moved out of it. That was what happened to the Labour Party. It's not as if they didn't have money to read. If the Labour Party had created an man, they would have cleared it.
All right.
But I like this point you just raised now, because I remembered in school politics, political science, when we wanted to do the National Association of, that was the first experience I had with politics and how some of these things are decided before going to the polls. So they had decided that, okay, they wanted a particular woman from so and so to be the person here. So if you are presenting your political party and you're not presenting this particular woman, you are definitely, we work against you and ensure that you don't win. Now, what he just explained is we're looking to give this to somebody from this side. Now, you picked a candidate, so that it goes around. You picked a candidate who is not from that particular side. You are going to be swimming against the tide. And that's also the sense in politics. You understand the people, what the people want, and swim with the tide so that things are easier for you. But now that they have a winner already.
I have a cute comment. Somebody says, no polling units online. Every politics is local. Bureaucratic work won't work. Bureaucratic won't work again in our democracy unless such is imposed. As a politician, I want my governor to know me, not about big grammar by PDP candidates. He's not part of the system. So if anyone is saying APC rigged because PDP agents, I didn't get the part. But I think
the Edo people are happy.
No. It's not even whether they're happy or not. My own worry is based on this message she just read that do we feel like as a country, having our country being led by pure politicians has served us till this far? Like,
I haven't been led.
So because when you now say, oh, you cannot come and speak big English, you're not part of the system, so you cannot come and contest. So everybody that has ideas, Morayo with all the wisdom she has, every other person that is sitting down, CEO somewhere, all of them should just sit and say, we should leave Nigerian politics for politicians who have grassroots. Do you really want a country like that?
I don't think that's what they're saying. They're saying with your wisdom and your experience, don't forget home. Don't forget who you are. Don't forget the people that you're trying to serve.
Those live in Lagos.
Yes.
Thinking how come.
So if you're so interested, please come and know us. Be part of the system so you understand our pain. We say it all the time. We say it's because politicians don't use our hospitals and their children don't go to our schools. That's why they don't understand our pain.
And that is what...
Let me take this call from Joachim. I'll also give an idea. Joachim, you're live. Thanks for calling.
Oh, good morning,
Good morning, sir.
It's my first time calling.
Welcome to the show.
I'm a good fan of your view.
Thank you, sir.
I just want to make this contribution to this topic. Thank you. The implication of Obaseki's actions is what Okpebholo suffered. His actions were not good at all. He was approaching the whole thing in a kind of hooliganism kind of way, permit me to use that, and which was not good for Okpebholo. His personality is a very good one. And again, I want to also say that LP was the only party that got a clean and real vote in this election. Clean and real vote. Because the two other parties, it was clear that there were allegations of vote buying all across the state. And I want to encourage Labour Party going forward, they should try and pay more attention to whatever zones or body language of the other party to inform their own decision of fielding a candidate that can, change the narrative in the future. Thank you.
You see, I like what he said, and I think I'd like to link up to what Miriam said earlier, which I think we shouldn't lose sight of. Labour Party, although they have only 22,000, I think they shouldn't see it as a defeat. You have 22,000 people who came to vote for you. Now, they need to build on that credibly. It might take you years, even decades, to get that slot. But you see, they need to be consistent in that and maintain the momentum, because some people, they can get very discouraged. But you shouldn't, based on what Miriam said earlier. Build on those numbers and continue to campaign. You might not get the next 8 years, you might not get the next 16 years, but keep at it. Sustain it, because at some point, that's how you build your numbers, so your political party.
It seems like they're setting themselves apart for a different ideology, which is what we are not used to.
And they must do that.
The other two political parties, now the same ideology, and they get. So now we have another political party who believes that we can get the numbers right without having to, break the bank or, bribe anybody to get there. If they sustain it over time, maybe people will now begin to see that, do we really want real change? We have to go with it.
Let me take
Sadiq.
Maybe.
Sadiq, you're live from Edo. Good morning, Sadiq.
Hello, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
I just want to make a quick contribution.
Yes.
Okay, I think the outcome of the Edo State just concluded election was based on the performance of the outgoing governor from Baseki.
Go ahead.
Hello?
We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay. In my side, at the election, I would say the election was free and fair, very, very fair. And I just hope the governor, the Modi, will do a great job.
Listen to yourself. So going back to, I think what Topa said earlier about finding the balance. And I think Miriam also said that when you go out there, yes, you're educated, you're exposed, but you must be part of the people. It goes also back to what they say. I think, I'm not sure if it's the Oba of Benin, where the prince is taken away to a different country. You can travel abroad, you can school in different places, and you are hidden. But then you come back, when to the Oba dies, you now come back to now take on the throne of your people. The same thing, if you live in Lagos, you do all the things, and you're successful. What the people expect is that you're now back with them in the grassroots politics. They know you, you know them, and you move home with the people. You know they are coming, you're not shuffling from Lagos to Edo. You are there with them, you're living with them.
And it seems what Edo people see as a cardinal sin is they describe some behavior as a disrespect to the throne, the Oba. So that also shows like a disconnect, because we know how much the Oba is revered in Edo State. I mean, he's one of the seats, royal seats that garners so much respect. And, for the people to feel that he was disrespected, it will affect you definitely in some way. But if you're part of the people, you be careful not to even come across. So he may not have, in his own mind, maybe if he explains it, there was no disrespect, but you also don't want to be perceived, as being disrespectful. When stories like that are going around, maybe a more grassrooted person would have understood some of the language or some of the things that they needed to do, to appease the people.
It's just very strange how everybody keeps saying that the current, the outgoing governor of Edo State will not do anything.
I don't understand.
It's just, because you can...
That's politics. That's politics for you.
Like the governor now, according to the governor, is the best governor.
But how?
Because Edo State, I'm just saying that he has a long list of his achievements that he is highlighting over and over again. But the people feel that he was speaking English, he was signing contracts, they didn't see construction work around, he didn't do what they want.
So one of the benefits that Lagos State has is that succession plan, where Asiwaju was governor, he was able to put down a blueprint. Right? The next governor took it up and built on it. What Obaseki was trying to do was, what he has done may not feed you now, because he's trying to lay a foundation. He's signing MOUs. He's talking to investors. He only has 8 years. So all he can do really is set up a foundation, which was Asiwaju did when he came. But it takes other governors to come in. Like, for example, now, what Asiwaju is doing as president now is foundational. You're not going to feel it. Next 8 years, because what we've had bad governance for years. The next president, hopefully can build on the CNG, can build on the manufacturer support, can build on the tax, all those things, and then we'll have a better Nigeria. So the point is that which is saying that yes, Obaseki did not work in your own eye, but the truth is, what many will say, he laid the foundation for the next crucial foundation for Edo State.
Morayo, you did not say. You just gave us bad news now. You cannot be saying this. See, Nigerians
I'm saying things from different perspectives.
Foundation.
Just do bungalow for us.
Hey,
we don't want skyscraper.
When we get there, we will get there. So there are some things, there are some policies that you lay foundation. You will not lay foundation on all the policies at the same time. That's where the problem is. You will lay on some. You will give us food on some. So that we have belly to hold for when you now finish to build the skyscraper. Is that not so?
This is lesson for all the other
so don't lay foundation on everything, and by the time you leave, the people have not felt an impact of your 8 years, and you say you're laying foundation. It doesn't...
Well, it depends on how you look at it.
That's why I said
this is open to all sorts of interpretation.
Yeah, exactly. We can look at it from different sides.
You need to give them the keke na pep.
Again, speaking from the other side of my mouth, because I have to I have to balance it. So, Senator Monday, why do we assume that his grassroots politics is all about giving? Why can't we also assume that grassroots politics is also technocratic in nature, such that they also look at economic development, job creation? Why must we always assume that grassroots is about just giving people handouts?
I listened to his manifestos. I've listened to him. And I listened
That's Monday, right?
Yes.
Monday. Okay.
I've listened to Senator Monday Okpebholo. And I've listened to Asue Godalo. If anybody watching this show, not take away politics, take away your feelings for
sentiments.
PDP, APC. I'm not party. Yeah. When you listen to both of them and what they want to do, you will lean towards one person more than the other. And
based on
your
bubble now.
Based on your bubble. I'm talking about like in terms of word for word. You know, some things are like very. It's like when you listen to American politics is always concerned about. But if you listen to Kamala and listen to Trump, and you are listening to it not based on what you will get from maybe tax break or I'm going to go to migrate and all of that. If you listen to what they're saying word for word, you would say the people will benefit from having Kamala. Yeah. But some people they will look at it.
So that's
it's a case of
from your what do the people want still? But you know, I learned something once, especially in relation to talking about environmental sustainability and things like that, things that will benefit people. And one of the things that comes up every time is that in the information given, you need to be local. Because if they don't understand your language, they can't see your vision. Yeah. So you have to find ways to collaborate with those on ground to be able to speak their language and use things around them, things relatable to them, so that they can get your vision. So you're right. We may understand. Thank God for the education or exposure that we have. We may understand some of the things but the average person, especially we're comparing them vis-a-vis the average Lagos resident. You know, many people have lived in their communities forever. They've never gone anywhere. And what they are looking is that food is not on my table. You know, they don't get all these big
let me take
projects that
Suleiman. Good morning, Suleiman. You're live.
Policy at once.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Small.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Don't where you are just talking. You marry for Edo man, but you don't go to Edo State. What does Obaseki do to Edo State?
What did he say?
He don't even respect rule of law. He does not respect rule of law. He has Obaseki for 4 good years. 14 members of House of Assembly, Edo House of Assembly did not see. Obaseki went to Edo House of Assembly building and removed the roof. Till today, that building is still like that. Do you even know the members of Edo Assembly today? Do you know them? Are you who are calling technocrat? Who are the technocrat? He's a modern technocrat. Monday just come into politics. He has his own business, a successful businessman too. He has done well in his own business too. That somebody like Igodalo. Those are people who, because they work in the financial sector, they manipulate figures. You call them technocrats. See, forget it. Obaseki has not done well in Edo. You just pay salary. Lagos State should say if they are paying salary, they will not do anything again. If Lagos State not pay salary, if Federal not pay salary, why are they saying that the Tinubu is not performing? Is Obaseki performing than Tinubu? What has he done? Even the Edo people, I'm even disappointed in them.
to even voting for PDP candidates, to even give the president that kind of vote. Because of the hatred of APC they have in Edo State.
I absolutely love. Thank you so much. I love what I'm hearing because it just gives you a sense of our people. And we must, for the new age of politicians, I hope they can study these kind of things because we all need to somewhat come down from our high horses. And it goes back to even what, and I hate to bring this to federal government, but it goes back to what people are saying that, okay, you have all these experts from Harvard, from Yale, from Stanford. They're in your cabinet. They're in FEC meeting. They have these figures that are giving us. We have the CBN governor. We have all these big names. Hello? We still don't have food on our table. It's the same thing because we always think is that it's by importing or bringing these people that have these ideas because they actually have good intentions. They have good ideas because they read about it. They've studied economies in Singapore. They've studied in Malaysia. They've studied. And they're like, okay, let us do it this way. They come in and bring that blueprint thinking it works. But the people are saying, you have to create our own blueprint for us. We are different
from our needs.
And so we have to really rework this politics in this country somewhat. Because,
I hear you, Morayo, but I have to tell you the truth. Politicians, you people are trying because I could never be. Because
tell me about
the blueprint about understanding the Nigerian person is...
Only from heaven you can
Yes,
get
because the Nigerian person is like this today, he's like that tomorrow.
Yeah.
You don't know what would take a Nigerian off. You don't know what you would say, what you would wear, or how you would say it that will make a Nigerian who has loved you for 4 years to just be disgusted by you in your 5th year. So I would like to see who is able to solve this equation that is a Nigerian.
But the last caller, Sulaimon, gave 1, 2, 3 proof of why people of why Edo State are angry with the governor and why some of the votes that he got were protest votes that did not come to him, were protest votes against him.
What he has
done. I asked because of the things that he did, and I remember, sometimes you forget, because I remember taking the stories here, all the removing of the roof, the enemies that were being made, who are politicians are excellent.
And even the people.
But there was a governor that did that in another state that was hailed. Do you understand? That's what I'm saying.
No, it was not him.
No.
Because he was fighting a godfather.
No, yes, but people talk about him with respect for what he did because he was tough.
You see, Nigerians, you don't know what to do.
Exactly.
What do we do?
See, Mariam, what you said, the blueprint to fix Nigeria comes from heaven.
It comes from God.
We must go now the heavens. We have to go and find this blueprint because only us,
like a heavens,
that will hail one state.
Yes, we'll say that
is fighting godfather.
We have a dancing governor in another one that probably not doing anything, but we love him. Just keep dancing. We are okay. Keep dancing. Don't do education. Don't do it. Just dance. We love him. I'm telling you that. I'm not saying that he's not doing it. I'm just saying that Nigerians don't even want to know what he's doing. We're not critical. We're not critical of what he's doing. How many jobs he's creating? We don't care. He's dancing every party, and we're just like him.
Yes.
So we are very
God help another governor to dance. Look at what he's doing. No, don't help another governor to be holding a laptop somewhere. Look at what he's doing.
God help Lagos State governor to be dancing up and down.
He just taking selfie. He was just taking selfie. They said that he yabbed him that he took selfie. They said he was pointing hard.
Or he's laughing too much. He smiles too much.
They said he was pointing. They yabbed the governor for pointing.
Yes.
Imagine. Pointing governor.
They said he was a pointing governor.
What about pick up camera at former governor national investigator in
Nigeria, honestly. So you will be all right.
I'm telling you. So you see, I mean, we are laughing at this thing, but sometimes, and I was telling you that recently when I was in this group that I'm in this, and I'm just listening to Nigeria, where we're trying to get a leader, trying to make decisions, and you just hear what people are saying. I'm like,
it's difficult to.
Father in heaven, I mean, like you just.
The same country?
Can you hear yourself? It doesn't even make sense what you're saying. We decide on something. What are you just talking to yourself? We don't even know what's going on. I'm thinking, he just said what we're doing. They didn't hear. They're not listening. They're listening. So,
I'm not saying the way they want to.
We honestly, I mean, as much as congratulations to the Edo people, congratulations. I'm happy they love the candidate that has won. I'm happy. I mean, but let's not forget, 192,000 voted for PDP. So let's not assume that everybody did not like Obaseki. There are a number of people who actually appreciated the work he's done. So let's not pretend that he hasn't done some work. He has. 44,000, however, more than those believe that Senator Monday was a better choice, and we really wish them the best in these coming elections.
And please, they should not build foundation on everything. We need to eat to be able to wait for the house to finally go up. So as you are building foundation, still do some things that would give us, a form of relief while we're waiting for you to complete.
This BC that is saying this one, this is the same BC that will say he wants to come and do palliative. Why are they giving us food? What are they giving us for? Are we not the same Nigerians that will complain?
I didn't say they should give us food.
What are you going to give us?
I didn't say they should give us food.
What should they give us?
Give us, make the policies easy for us to be able to make the food, to farm the food, do the basic things. All of us will not die before.
They want to do now.
See band A.
They want to increase again. We are watching people.
This bandit thing,
you not affect you. They touch everybody.
I can't remember the last time I used air conditioner.
Imagine.
It is so painful.
My parents that have moved.
People are still using AC in your house.
We are still using AC.
You are so blessed. Since June, I've not used air conditioner. I'm looking forward to my car. Like, I'll be sitting and you have your back.
Yeah.
Now I look
want to go to your car.
Yeah, driver, put on the AC. I'm coming. And now they put the vents in front of me.
Someone wrote something online. She says that her AC comes on for first-time visitors. Second-time visitor, no AC for you.
When my old visitor came, they used more than 2 hours. They say, Uncle, this AC is coming for 2 hours. After 2 hours, I'm AC. It's time for you to go.
Everybody has to adapt.
That's all we can take on today's show. Congratulations again to the people of Edo. I'm wishing them all the best. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.